Welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 187th podcast.
This episode, we bring you The Monkey Husband, a story from Japan.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And together we are the Activated Actors.
We are coming to you from Mashpee, Massachusetts, which is on Cape Cod.
And I don't know if they serve mashed peas in Mashpee. I don't know if they serve sandwiches in Sandwich, but they're both on Cape Cod.
But they are. This is true. And I imagine that they do serve Mashpee and Mashpee and sandwiches in Sandwich.
There's probably somewhere a sandwich shop in Sandwich.
I bet they make good sandwiches.
I bet. They better.
So last time we were speaking with you and bringing you stories, we were in North Carolina. We've done a bit of traveling since then.
And we want to bring you up to date briefly on the places we've been and some of the things we've done. We have done a lot.
We have had a lot of exciting adventures, and we're now putting a lot of YouTube videos out that have all of the action that you can see on our adventures across America. So be sure to check that out. You will find our YouTube at Activated Shows, or just do a search for Activated Story Theater YouTube and it will come up.
While we were in North Carolina, we went to the Salty Pirate Water Park, which was a fun little place to splash and slide down water slides.
The slides were incredible. There's a good, nice one that's just fun, and then there's one that drops straight down. And you get to fly across the water. And that was a blast. And we also hit our 200th day of dancing across the nation, which is also on YouTube. And you will see us dance 8 counts every day in a new location. And we put it all together and make a dance every month. And it keeps on going. We've been doing that since January 1st of this year. And this is 2018, if you're listening in the future.
Also in North Carolina, speaking of flying, which you just did a moment ago, we visited where flight really began in America, where the Wright Brothers took off. They called it Kitty Hawk back then, but it's not really. Kitty Hawk was the closest town. There's now a closer town around there, but it's called Kill Devil Hills. But anyway, it's the same place, same location where the Wright Brothers began flying.
And you can actually walk the path that their plane took off and landed. We also went to the Virginia Aquarium and got to see all the fish and pet the stingrays. And we visited a fabulous musical museum, the Virginia Musical Museum, which has a lot of rare and old instruments and pays tribute to Virginia musicians. And then we were, in Richmond, Virginia, we did a couple of great escape rooms, including the best one we've ever done, Warehouse 29. Yes, Warehouse 29 was incredible. I can't give it all away, but if you are in the area and you like escape rooms and puzzles, that is a wonderful one. And
visited the Edgar Allan Poe Museum in Richmond. It has some interesting artifacts from Edgar Allan Poe's life.
And we got to go into a cavern. And
Lost River Caverns in Pennsylvania.
And we stopped by and ate the chocolate in Hershey Chocolate World.
The Gettysburg Battlefield, a famous Civil War site where Lincoln gave his Gettysburg address. And we went into the room that he stayed the night before, and they have the very bed that he slept in.
Yes, and we made our way all the way out to Massachusetts, Purgatory Chasm, which is an incredible geological site and fun place to walk around and see big rocks, but it's really interesting how it makes mazes and things to climb over.
Yes, it has the best set of rocks for climbing and exploring that I've ever seen.
And then there's also, we did a bunch, so make sure you do check out our YouTube videos, including you will see videos of us running a 5K and playing in this glow foam.
They have foam that they put on you that glows in the dark, and you do this run at night. So
but we're not. You don't see the whole 5K, but you do get to see the party and the foam and the glowing and our crazy dances. It's so much fun.
And just recently, yesterday, in fact, we went whale watching. We were out on Cape Cod, so we did some whale watching, fabulous whale watching.
We've been on a couple of whale watches before, but I believe this is the closest we have gotten to the whales. They were waving at us. They were showing us their tails. We saw a mama and a baby. You want to see that. We'll share that with you on our YouTube.
We did a tour of the sand dunes out in Provincetown, which is the very tip of Cape Cod.
Yep. So much fun. We've had a great tour this summer. We hope you've been doing some exciting things. And we know you guys are here for a story. So I think we should go on a story. Again, that YouTube, though, is Activated Shows. That's Activated Shows, or just look for Gozas on the Go if you want to see all of our travel adventures at Dance Across the Nation for our Dancing Across the Nation. Alrighty, you guys ready for a story? This story comes from Japan, and it is The Monkey Husband.
Long ago in Japan, there was an old farmer who was growing even older. He found it harder and harder to do the work in the field. One day, he was out plowing when he said to himself, "Oh, this work is breaking my back. How I wish I had someone to help me plow. I'd be so grateful I'd even let him marry one of my daughters." Well, no sooner had the words left his mouth when a monkey appeared before him.
Ta-da! I'm here!
Yes, I see you're here, but what is a monkey doing in my field?
You wished for help, so I'm here to help.
Oh, that. Well, I was really just talking to my plow.
Well, since your plow didn't answer, I did. You uttered a desperate wish, and whenever someone utters a desperate wish in this part of the country at this time of the year, with this kind of atmospheric pressure, bada bing! The wish comes true.
Great. So don't tell me the genies are all too busy to respond, so I get stuck with a talking monkey instead.
Listen, bud. You wanted hired hands. Well, I have 4 of them. Not to mention a prehensile tail. Do the math. I can plow this field 2.5 times as fast as you hairless humans.
Well, I guess there's no harm in letting you try.
That's the spirit. Now you just go on home and relax, and we'll discuss my fee later.
So the farmer went home to his 3 daughters. The oldest daughter said,
"Aw, you're home already. I was just getting used to the peace and quiet."
and the middle daughter said, "I suppose you'll be wanting your dinner now." And the youngest daughter said,
"Papa, you finished plowing already? That's great."
"Actually, it's the strangest thing. I had help, you see."
Help? Who possibly could have helped you?
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but, oh, I wonder who that could be at the door.
Ta-da! I'm here.
You? What are you doing here? I thought you were plowing the field.
I finished already. Do you think I was just gonna monkey around? Now, I've come for my payment.
Payment? I don't really have any money, or I would have hired someone long ago.
I don't want money. What would a monkey do with money? There's a reason there's no such thing as monkey money. Now, I've come to claim one of your daughters as my wife, just as you promised. Huh?
Oh, that. Well, you see, I didn't really mean that. I was just talking to my plow, you see, and plows never take me seriously, so...
You made a wish, and you offered a payment for it. The wish has been fulfilled, and now you must fulfill your half of the bargain.
But, oh, I guess you got me there. Perhaps my oldest daughter would be willing to marry you. You're no worse than her last boyfriend.
You gotta be kidding! You think I want to be seen in public with someone like him? Besides, he's a total stranger. Then permit me to introduce myself. My name is Mizui. At your service. You may remember me from my gig with an organ grinder. You're still a stranger. You're stranger than anyone I know.
Then maybe my middle daughter would be willing to marry you. No way. You think I'm going to make a primate my prime mate?
I see what you did there.
It's not my fault you got yourself into this predicament. Oh, neither of them wants to marry a monkey. Well, what am I going to do?
Papa, I'll do it. I'll marry the monkey.
You? I never thought... are you sure about that?
Your honor is at stake, and in our country, honor is a very important thing. Give me a moment to pack my bags, and I'll be ready to leave with my new husband.
Oh, this is terrible. What have I done? So the monkey took the youngest daughter away and married her. An orangutan was their best ape at the wedding. and they lived in his treehouse for a time, but they did not live happily ever after. She kept hoping that one day he would turn into a handsome prince like in the fairy tales, but he didn't.
Oh, this lifestyle is driving me bananas. This is not how I always imagined extending the family tree. There must be a way out of it.
So she thought about how afraid she was of climbing out onto tree branches sometimes, and it gave her an idea.
Oh, deer! No. Deer have antlers. Monkeys have long tails. Whatever. You know, I really miss my father, and I even miss my sisters. You think we could go back to visit them for a while? Well, sure, why not? It would be refreshing to have some new people to mimic. Oh, good. I'll make some mochi rice balls to take. My father always loved the way I made them, but, I'm going to make a lot of them. And they might be too heavy for me to carry. Do you think you could carry them for me? I guess so. You promise? Sure. In fact, I'll gather up some banana leaves to wrap them in. Oh, no. We mustn't do that. Why not? Because the rice cakes will taste like bananas. So? I think everything should taste like bananas. Oh, my father hates bananas. They make him sick. Wow. I'm not sure I want to be a part of his family after all. Then what should we carry the rice cakes in? Well, how about... Oh, yes! That urn will do. Urn? But it's ceramic. It'll be very heavy. You did promise, you know. What's the matter? Can't you carry it? Oh, you don't think I'm strong enough, eh? I'll show you.
So she loaded the rice cakes into the urn, and the next morning, Mizua the monkey husband loaded the urn onto his back, and they set off for her father's house. After a time, the monkey grew tired.
Oh, boy. This thing is getting heavier and heavier. Oh, I need to sit down and rest a while. I'll just set this urn on the ground and... No, don't do that. Huh? Why not? My father doesn't like the taste of dirt any more than he likes the taste of bananas. What are you talking about? The rice cakes are in the urn. The urn will touch the ground, not the cakes. And the urn might taste like dirt, but I don't think he's going to eat it. You don't understand. My father is sensitive. Very, very sensitive. He once inspired a story about a princess and a pea. All right. I'll keep the urn on my back while I sit and rest. How's that?
So the monkey sat down and rested for a bit with the urn on his back, and then they pressed on. Soon they came to a big cherry tree beside a wide, raging river.
Oh, my! Look at those cherry blossoms! Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, beautiful, just gorgeous, so what? My father loves cherry blossoms. Do you suppose you could climb up there and get some for him? He's getting a bunch of fresh rice cakes delivered. That should be enough. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right, of course. It's just, I'm sure he's really, really missed me, and he's been really sad since I've been away, and I know some cherry blossoms would make him feel ever so much better, but, I guess he can just go on being miserable. All right. I'll get his blasted cherry blossoms.
So the monkey shinnied up the tree with the urn full of rice cakes still on his back.
All right, how about these blossoms right here? Oh, no, those won't do. They need to be much bigger and pinker and cherrier than that.
So the monkey climbed out a little farther.
How about these? Oh, those are better, but they're still not good enough. My father has very particular tastes, so I gather.
So the monkey climbed out farther still.
Okay, these look like the best ones on the whole tree. So how about...
But he had climbed out on such a tiny branch, and the weight of the urn with the rice cakes made him so heavy that the branch broke, and the monkey and the urn full of rice cakes tumbled into the wide raging river and were swept away to who knows where and never seen again. So the youngest daughter was able to go back home to her father and her sisters for good. My youngest daughter, it's so good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Papa.
Somehow I had a feeling I'd be seeing you soon. I had a dream last night about rice cakes and cherry blossoms. And that's the story of the monkey husband from Japan.
Yay! I want to point out that this monkey was named by one of our Patreons, and that is Elizabeth McFarland. She has the opportunity of naming one of the characters in our podcast, and if you'd like that opportunity, all you need to do is become a Patreon. You can go to our website, activatedstorytheater.com, and go all the way to the bottom of one of our pages, and you'll see the link to Patreon there. It's just a way of supporting the podcast, supporting what we do, and it's just a small donation, and you get to listen to our podcast early. You get everything that we put out there early, and you get to see the live shows. We will be streaming them only for Patreons. Get to see live shows, plus the other perks and fun stuff and gifts that we give back.
Including being able to name a character on the podcast. You could even name it after yourself.
Yes, and actually you can have a guest role on one of our podcasts.
Yes, that's true.
So we will work that out with you if you become a Patreon. And we appreciate the support. We really do. It helps us bring more shows to more kids across the country.
And we have some, speaking of shows, we have some coming up.
We have some wonderful shows coming up in Massachusetts.
Our summer is winding down now, but we still have some performances left that are open to the public. And the first group of shows will be August 22nd. We have got 3 shows all across Massachusetts. You can find us in Franklin Library at 10:30 on the 22nd, at Acton Library at 3 o'clock, and at the Wellesley Library at 7. And that will wind up our summer schedule. But we've got more shows coming up in September in addition to our school programs. We're going to be performing at the Salem Literary Fest in Salem, Massachusetts this year. Yes, and we are excited about that. Of course, we're also going to be in the Bethel Synagogue Center. That's a yearly event we do there for the Jewish high holidays. We will be there if you are in New Rochelle. That's at the Bethel Synagogue, and September 11th, we will see you there again this year. Excited about that. And then on the 22nd, we are at the Salem Literary Festival in Salem, Massachusetts, one of our favorite places to go. And that will be at noon. We'll be performing at the Tabernacle Church. And that's part of a big event. They've got all kinds of activities going on. All having to do with literature, as you might not have guessed from the name of the event. And then on October 3rd, we will be at the Billerica Library, and that's a 6:30 show in Billerica, Massachusetts. And then we'll have some more programs coming up, and we'll tell you about those in our next podcast. We have enjoyed sharing stories with you, sharing our adventures, and we appreciate you listening to our podcast. And if you haven't listened, this is our first one, go back. We have done, this is 187 podcasts. We started in 2006. We started 187 years ago. So when podcasts were new, we've been doing a whole bunch of them, and we enjoyed doing it. And we appreciate your support. So until next time, stay activated.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you. Read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.